Hello and welcome to my 8th Game Boy Homebrew compilation video. I've got some really exciting games to share in this episode, including a bunch of physical releases, including 2 very special collector's editions that came over from First Press Games, as well as a bunch of downloadable games too that are coming very soon. So let's get started with the first game, and this one is up for pre-order right now over on Bitmapsoft's website. This is called Ruby and Rusty Save the Crows by Max Oakland. Let's take a look. Now, bear in mind that the version I'm playing here is still a beta and things might change before the final release, but I have to say that I enjoyed this game so much that I actually played it all the way through to the end. And not only did I play it all the way to the end, I actually 100% completed it as well. And I sent my score to Max and he was so happy that I'd actually got all the way to the end of the game. And if you're enjoying what you're seeing here in the gameplay, I actually uploaded on my gameplay channel a full let's play of the entire game. So if you like what you're seeing and you want to see a bit more before you decide to place your order with Bitmap, go ahead and check out that video. There'll be a link in the description below. The game itself is a really fun 2D platformer that takes heavy inspiration from something like Yoshi's Island with the way the levels are completed. Basically, there's 3 different ways to complete the stage. You can just play through it as normal, you can play through it and not take any damage, and you can also play through it and try and find all of the hidden flowers throughout the stage as well. And if you manage to do all 3 of those, you will actually get extra ticks at the end of the level when you go back to the world map, and that means that you can then aim for the 100% completion rate like I did. It's a really great system, and the levels are really well designed, and they're also quite short too, so it makes replaying the levels really fun, and you never feel too frustrated. Like I said, the game is up for pre-order right now, so go ahead and check it out using the links in the description. Now, on to the next game. Now, the next game is one that I have mentioned in one of these previous videos, but thanks to Ferrante Crafts, I now actually have it complete in box. This is G0 by 7FH, and like I said before, this is a fantastic racing game for the system, a genre that you don't actually see that often, so it's really cool that he's made such a good game. You can basically choose one of 3 different cars, each with slightly different acceleration and top speeds, and then you can race across 6 different levels. It's really fast, it's really fun, and it looks fantastic as well, and this version here just is so good. I love the way Ferrante Crafts does his cartridges. Just take a look at this, it's such high quality. I love the plastic PCB, and of course, as all good Game Boy Homebrew games have, they also have a nice custom PCB on the back there with a logo on it too. And of course, a nice full colour instruction manual to go along with it. And you can get that one over on Ferrante Crafts' Etsy store, so I'll put a link in the description to that too. And this is another game that I've showed off before, but this is really special because the developer, Studio Loading, actually sent me over an alpha build of the game on its very own cartridge. And as well as sending the game over, he also very kindly wrote me this handwritten note here with something special on the back that I can't show off just now. It's actually a cheat code that's going to be included in the final game. But thanks to this version here, I've actually managed to get past the first level, which I've showed off before. So during this video now, I'll show you some of the gameplay from Worlds 2 and 3 of the game as well. It seems like it's shaping up really well. Definitely check out the Kickstarter, which I believe is still running at the time of this video going live. So check the link in the description if you think this game looks interesting and you'd like to get yourself a copy when it's ready for release later this year. I'm really looking forward to playing the full game, and Studio Loading, if you're watching, you're doing a fantastic job. Keep it up, and I can't wait to do a full video on the final thing when it's finally released. And thank you so much for sending me over this alpha version as well, I really do appreciate that. Now next is a game that I bought from a website called Inside Gadgets, and I actually bought 2 games from them. The first one I'm going to show off is this game here called Bulb, which is made by Kim Kong. And first of all, I have to say that the packaging for this is really nice. They had a few different options. I chose this sort of glossy rainbow coated version here, but the really interesting thing with this is the cartridge itself, because it actually includes an LED light in the cartridge which turns on and off in time with what's going on in the game. And what a fun game it is as well. You basically go around the house and you play as a light bulb, and the idea is that you can flick a switch to turn the lights back on, and then you have have to screw yourself into the light fitting. But the gimmick with this game is that once you step outside the cone of light at the start where the door is, the entire stage turns pitch black and you've only got one chance to light the room up, so you have to kind of memorize where the platforms are. So you have to jump to try and get to the switch and then get to the end of the stage where you can finally screw yourself into the light fitting and then move on to the next room in the house. It's a really fun game, really addictive, and the way the cartridge lights up as you're playing is such a unique thing that I've never really seen anywhere before. So kudos to King Kong and Inside Gadgets for making one of the most unique homebrew games available at the moment. Definitely check this game out using the link in the description. And now for the next game I got from Inside Gadgets. This one is by Cab Corp, and this one is called Borruga. So from the subtitle Neo Pinball, I expected a pinball game, but this actually more resembles something like Breakout or Arkanoid. You basically move the paddle across the bottom of the screen, but kind of like Kirby's Block Ball, you can press A to hit the paddle up a bit and give the ball a bit of an extra boost. And the really interesting thing with this cartridge, just like the other Inside Gadgets one, this one has something really interesting inside the cart as well. This one actually has a rumble feature. So as your ball is bouncing around the stage, as it's bouncing off the different elements on the table, as it's bouncing off the bat at the bottom, you can actually feel it rumble, and it feels really good too. And I actually also really enjoyed playing this using the Neo Pinball overlay on the Analog Pocket. I feel like this is one of the best games that uses that filter to its full potential. It really does look really cool. And if you're worried about the rumble pack in the back of the Analog Pocket, there's no need to be worried. The cartridge didn't move at all, and I had a great time playing it. And once again, this was on the same website as Bulb, so go and check out both of those using the link in the description. Now next is a game that I haven't actually opened yet, and that is because I'm saving it for when Incubate sends over some more games soon. This one is called The Machine by Ben Jelter, and I've heard incredible things about it. I'm saving this for a full review, which is coming at some point later this year, so look forward to that. Now for another download game, and this one is still quite early in development, but the developer was very kind to send me this early build of the game, and this is for a game called Cleopatra's Curse, which was previously released on the TurboGrafx CD and the Sega Genesis. And this is a Game Boy port of that game, and from what I've played so far of this early demo, it seems to be shaping up to be one of the best homebrew games that I've played so far. The graphics are really nice and smooth, the animations are fantastic, it even has some voice samples, which is something that I haven't heard from any homebrew game yet. The version that I was playing is still very early in development, as I said, but the developer very kindly gave me access to his debug mode features, so I could warp around a little bit and check out some of the later levels in the game, as well as one of the boss fights, and to be able to play around with some of the different weapons that you'll find throughout the adventure as well. The game seems to be shaping up to be a really good Metroidvania style platform game, and you will definitely hear more about it in the future on my channel, so definitely subscribe if you want to see more about Cleopatra's Curse for the Game Boy, coming at some point in the near future. And before I get to these two incredible collector's editions here to round this video off, there's one more downloadable game that I wanted to bring up, and this is another one that I 100% completed. This one is called Super Jacked Up Tomato Face Johnson. And yes, I know that is a mouthful and it's such a weird title, but I absolutely love it. And this was made by Gumpy Function, originally for a Game Boy Game Jam, but he's actually gone back and polished the game up, and he's working towards a full release as well. This version that I played is so much fun, and I did actually upload my 100% playthrough over on my gameplay channel as well, so go and check that out afterwards. This is another really nice bite-sized platformer, where you have to navigate these little puzzle rooms in order to get to the next stage. There's also a time trial element in order to complete the stage and get an extra tick on it, kind of like Ruby and Rusty that I mentioned earlier, so there's a lot of replay value with this one. I also love the mechanic. Basically, every time you jump, something changes in the stage, so you have to kind of match your jumps with what's going on in the level and try and figure out the best way to get through it. Definitely after this video check out the itch.io page, there's a link in the description. And now the final two here. One of them I've mentioned before. This is Tobu DX, but First Press were very kind and actually sent me over this incredible collector's edition here to finish off my set. So I actually had this one here, which I did a review of about 3 years ago now on my channel, so go ahead and watch that after. But they also included the other version of the game here, as well as a load of extra things here, which you'll see during this unboxing right now. So thank you so much, First Press, and as well as that, I did actually order this one myself, and I've been waiting for this for a long time. This is a game called POWA, which was another game that I showed off about 3 years ago, but it's finally got a full release and I could not be more excited to play it. I haven't had enough time to play all the way through it yet, and I'll probably end up doing a full video review in the future, but have a look at this early gameplay preview here, and just take a look at the incredible things that are inside this collection here. Just like Tobu, it comes with 2 different versions of the game here in some really nice shiny boxes, as well as a load of extras too. And the game is really fun. It basically reminds me of something like Kirby mixed with Trip World, but it's also incredibly difficult. Hopefully I'll be able to get through it and do a video in the future, so look forward to that, but go ahead and check out First Press's website to buy a copy of the game for yourselves. That's it for another roundup of Game Boy Homebrew games coming very soon. Really hope you enjoyed my picks for this episode. Thank you so much to all of the developers for helping me gather all this stuff here to show off in this video. Really hope you enjoyed all the games I had to show, and if you enjoyed this video and you want to support me, go ahead and check out Patreon to join all of the amazing people going across the bottom of the screen right now. That's it for now. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, and I'll see you very soon for the next episode. Goodbye.